Well, hello and welcome to the Heartist Us Journey webinar number 2. We're talking today about the root and Mount Shasta and really the origins of humanity, where we come from. But first, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing and why we're here on these webinars to begin with.
Well, in case you're wondering what's going on in the world, it's really pretty plain to see. It's really a topsy-turvy world. They've been singing about this for a long time. Every day we're looking at some sort of a catastrophe situation, and we don't have to do that. We just need a plan of our own. Humanity needs a plan of its own, not leaving it up to our fearful leaders. Not fear. We have no fearless leaders. They're panicking. And so we have to take our heart into the utmost action. We need to reach into our own consciousness and our own heart and see where that takes us, because without it, we haven't done very well. So this is why we're doing this. We're taking this journey, as we're calling it the Heartist journey, to reconnect the root of our energy bodies in the world as well as individually with our hearts, because that's what's been severed. That's why there is no compassion, caring, and sharing in the world, is because we don't have to go into every time why. It's just over the eons of time, it's been severed. The relationship, the connection with our heart of compassion and caring for each other has been severely damaged. But it's the good news is that we can reconnect it. And that's what this journey is about.
So the root of humanity and who we are as a species, many of us have come to know that the things we've been taught about where our species originated and how we've grown is mostly not true. And there's a lot of ancient history that tells a little bit bigger picture about who we are and where we come from. All indigenous people say we come from the stars, and that's a part of the root. Knowing who we are is a part of the root of the matter of what's wrong with our societies. And so when we talk about the root, it's like with a tree. When a tree is damaged, you don't cut branches off to fix the tree so much. You go to the root. How can we heal at the root? So this is where we've been guided to focus our attention on how can we heal the root of humanity and transform into a grander, higher, better species of beings. Barbara Marx Hubbard work talks about our evolution and the going through the butterfly stage, through the chrysalis, and now is the time when we're coming out into the new golden age as the butterfly. We've been in the cocoon, we've been consuming. We were consumers for a couple thousand years, just consume, and then we went into an inner transformation place. Many on the planet have gone into cocoon for a while, where they were isolated and individualized and not connecting with others so much. But now is the time for those butterflies to start emerging from the chrysalis and come together and fly together. And that's our call for this journey, for the Heartist Us journey, is to come together and let's fly into our newness. And the root and the heart connection relates to our chakra system also. And if you go to the Heartist heartist.us webpage, and scroll down to the bottom. There's a video that shows the transformation of our chakra system into a plant-based system where our heart and root connect directly, like the flower, like the blue lotus that we become as the new humanity. And we're calling new humanity Heartists.
Actually, from Homo sapien to Homo spiritus, Homo spirit us, all of us. It's recognizing that we are more than just this mere flesh and bones, that there is a power that's within all of us, that's beyond our beyond what's on the surface, what's in the physical plane. And this energy, it comes by many different names, and yes, God is one of them. But many cultures, each culture has their own way of relating to this energy center. So in the ancient old knowledge, it's been called a chakra system, or energy bodies, and where our energy body meets all the other bodies is actually through the physical vagus nerve, VAGUS nerve, second biggest nerve in our body. And one strand, two strands, it's on either side of the medulla oblongata. One of the strands goes to all the organs, and the other one goes to all the glands, the corresponding glands, harmonizing our physical as well as our other bodies, our emotional body, or our energy bodies. You'll find lots of information, scientific information, on our website as well. So that's just explain as to how we can energetically shift the situation in ourselves individually and connecting with all, because we are all connected, all energies, all life forces on Earth are connected. The Earth itself has an electromagnetic field that that acts like our chakra system, if you can say, because it's all connected. It's really envelops the entire globe, the entire Earth, and everything that's on it. We're all connected to that. So
within it, we live and move and have our being within that field of energy. And we're raising the frequency of that field. It's happening naturally. And our consciousness helps to ground it, to put that those new frequencies into the earth.
So it makes sense that it's through that circuitry, which is really passed on a lot by waters, because water is an incredible conduit for electrical and other energy forces. I mean, sound, everything is really powerfully carried by the water. Water on the earth, our oceans and river systems are like our, in our bodies, is like our blood system, circulatory system. And actually it takes like all our circulatory systems. So it is that, with that knowledge that we're working with, and it works together with our consciousness, and our consciousness connecting to the unified field of consciousness of humanity and the earth, and all life on earth is connected to that.
And Mount Shasta is considered the root chakra of the planet. It holds the base energy. And you can search about Mount Shasta if you don't already know about this mountain in Northern California. It is an ancient Lemurian mountain. There is a civilization that lives inside the mountain that communicates with us. And sometimes they even come out. And one time, as Mount Shasta was going to be logged, these beings came into the city council meeting and said, "You will not log our mountain. This belongs to us." And it was immediately made a national park. So there's history and science behind what we're doing. And at the base of Mount Shasta pours out the beginnings of the Sacramento River. These pure, beautiful waters we will be gathering. So we have several events scheduled for Mount Shasta, being the route. We're starting right away. We're not waiting until the journey. August 24th, we'll be in Mount Shasta at the Temple of Intention. You can find information about that on our website, heartist.us. So we'll be there, and we're gathering the messages from residents of Shasta. What would be the root's message for the world and for the heart? What would the residents of Shasta say their key message is to take through the heart as we journey, and to share in our ceremonies as we go along through Europe? So August 24th, we're beginning the process of gathering people's visions or comments. And then as we begin this Heartist Us journey in October, on 10/10/2017, which also is another 10, so 10/10/10, because 2017 adds up to 10, so it's another 10. Anyway, on October 10th in Mount Shasta at 10:10 a.m., we're going to be up on top of the mountain at Ascension Rock, which is also the Red Fir Group campground. We will be there in ceremony. We'll have a potluck lunch after. And then in the evening, we'll be at the Silk Road Chai Shop in downtown Shasta, where we bring all of these messages that we've gathered together and form it into some sort of message, whether it's a poem or a song or a statement or a prayer, however it comes out by everyone who brings their voice together. We'll be taking that to Hungary and Glastonbury. Taking a breath.
Yeah. Well, I like to bring it back each time, every time I speak, as to really the simplicity of what we're doing and why we're doing it is most important. The world is topsy-turvy, and it seems horrid to many, many multitudes. And multitudes are affected. It's a question of life and death situation for way too many. And this is to clarify, it's very obvious that the leaders really don't know what they're doing. Besides wanting to grab power and motivated by complete greed of not only material greed, but this power greed, this power grab, they don't even know why. They're not happy. This thing does not produce happiness for anybody. Just about every sector of society, of the human condition is teetering, tottering at its lowest. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. I mean, look at some of the wealthiest people are the unhealthiest people. And certainly, if you're looking at um, their happiness scale, they're not. I don't want to trade places with anybody. There is no one I want to trade places with. I'm totally at peace with where I am, and who I'm next to, and who I'm with, and who we're doing it together with. We just come to a situation where everything that we've learned in our lives and want to share uh, all our knowledge and all the knowledge of the people that we are connected with, um, about a simplest way to shift the consciousness that it rules the world. And uh, wouldn't that be something if you can actually live in the dream that you can imagine, in the best dreamed reality of your choice? For sad as it may sound, that some people would still choose um, um, some sort of a violent kind of a life that's the survival of the fittest, because they just don't know any better or any different way.
So in informing the world with a new thought and a new frequency is crucial. We are being bombarded. We're in a tsunami wave of gamma rays from the photon belt that our planet is in the middle of. The science of what's happening, the Schumann resonance, you can look that up, SCHUMANN. Schumann resonance has been rising. All of humanity, actually all life is being changed as these higher frequencies enter our electromagnetic field and change the rate at which everything vibrates. Now, if you've ever been in like a muscle car and something like there's a bolt off of the engine and it starts shaking as you're driving. Well, if you don't stop and stabilize that vehicle, it will eventually just rattle apart and fall to pieces. And that's what's happening with our systems and structures. They are breaking apart and falling to pieces. So as we move forward with life growing from the ground up, we won't ourselves fall apart because we've already taken ourselves apart individually and and taken away all of those thought patterns and structures that created the humans that we used to be. Now,
used to be called Homo sapien.
Yeah, we used to be humans and in the system.
And the sapien, the word sapien means using the mind function, the mental function. So we're shifting from Homo sapien status of the ego mind to the Homo spiritus. It is where the spirit, which resides in our heart of compassion, and so we're calling it Homo spiritus. And we'd love everybody to join us, to join together. And that's why we call ourselves Heartist, the art of the heart, the art of living with our spirit, with our true spirit, connected to all of life, because all of life is energy, and that energy is spirit. and it comes by many names, and it's really all we have to do is choose it. And actually, that's something that we're calling our. There's a new movement called
We choose love.
called We Choose Love, because it comes down to a choice. If every morning all of us just say, okay, no matter what, I'm just going to choose to be loving and
everything that
heart.
comes from me is loving to all life. You know, there's been this war on life, and we see what it's done to our children and our parents, and there's such separation. We all know the state of the world. But when we each individually choose love at all times, in all ways, we can transform our world. One heart at a time, groups of hearts at a time. You know, in the Heartist Us journey, we're going from Mount Shasta, the root, through the heart of Gaia, which is from Hungary to the United Kingdom. It's all, the whole journey is on our website. You can see all the details about it. And we have room for people to come with us. We can take a team of 12, including us, so 10 others can come with us on this journey. If it's like a cell of love infusing the heart. And if you feel like that might be a place for you, check it out. Those are the players. So wherever we go on stage, maybe you're a musician or a poet, or you have some kind of wisdom. We all have our gifts. So whatever your gifts are, you could feel about how is that October 16th through November 2nd. Maybe you feel called. Or maybe you feel called to be a grounder and help to stabilize the energies across the planet, like an acupuncture point. So the grounders are with us in conscious awareness and as an individual point, and then if groups come together in community, they become a node. And that will really change and transform your local community when you come together with us in our ceremonies along the way. And then there's also a role for guardians. And guardians are those who see in the inners, and they know how to travel the grids. They know how to visualize and see in other dimensions. And maybe that's your role from your own home, in your own space. Maybe that's how you could play. Or maybe you just want to donate to our GoFundMe and help it happen. GoFundMe campaign, which is also on the website. There's lots of ways for us to come together in consciousness, in action, in heart.
I'm always going for the most simple way of seeing things. And okay, so Mayana mentioned that that there has been a war on life, and that simplicity of knowing that's how true that is. You know, we look back at the eons of time of the different rulers and the different kingdoms and the different. It's always been this echelon of people in control, very few of them, and ruling everybody else. It's a slave mentality that has evolved throughout the time. And luckily, I never really signed up for it. You know, I'm very lucky because actually I was born during the bombing, the first bombing of Budapest. My mother was literally on the table, and I was born in that moment, and I got to ask, what the hell did I make a mistake to come to this spot?
So he was never in the slave system. I did have to break through from it. I was raised in fundamentalist Christianity and had to really, and a very dysfunctional family, and definitely had things to break through and break free and change in genealogy and lineages for my children so they don't have to suffer from the same system that was in place here.
Yeah, suffering. We don't have to suffer. We know we do not have to continue suffering. So many people are choosing to suffer because they're choosing to sign up and continue signing up for whatever it is that you're signing up for. We have free will. And this is the only way to exercise free will. We've all heard about, well, we have free will. Yes, we have free will of being in a heart and being caring individuals, caring spirits who take care of our immediate world surrounding us, as well as look out for the whole picture, the big picture. And so it's a matter of just seeing it in a simple way. And what if that's the only thing we had to do? What if the only thing we had to do is each morning to choose to live in our hearts of compassion and caring for each other? And then everything after that, if we all intend that, if we intend that in the morning and are able to carry it through our day, no matter what, imagine a world where everybody does that. It's possible. And it's just a switch of intention. It's a switch of energy direction, of going from needing love and needing to be taken care of and needing to be right, needing to be the head of the line, or needing to be this or that, to choosing love.
And when you choose love, then whatever circumstances come your way during the day, you have grace, you have peace, you have compassion, and overflowing abundance. We become these fountains of love that just emit through the world, and that's the clearing of the way. We're right now in the end of the Kali Yuga, and that in Hindi tradition, the Kali is the birther and the destroyer. For one thing to end, for one thing to begin, another thing has to end. When you're giving birth to a child, the pregnancy ends and the new life begins outside of you. And this is where we are. So we're going through the heart of Europe, and there's a birth portal. When you look at the image of the map, there's a birth portal in the Black Forest of Germany down to Cern, Switzerland. And in this birth portal, we are midwifing the birth of humanity as we go there in person with our awareness. You know, we have lots of angels and ascended masters and beneficial beings that would help us in many dimensions. But the key is they help us through our own consciousness. They come in and it work through us as we are aware of them. My understanding is we're not waiting for a spaceship to come and save us. Jesus isn't going to come and save us. Nobody is going to come and save us. Jesus might come inside your heart. Could find him there. You're not going to find him out there. You're not going to find a spaceship that comes in to say, oh, let's save you all.
Jesus and anybody can only come into your heart if you have your heart open. So that's it. We just have to choose to open our hearts to a life of meaning and loving and caring and sharing.
So thanks for joining us today. Please check out our website, HEARTIST.US, Heartist Us, And then our organization website is peaceproduction.org, peaceproduction.org.
So see you again next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, same time, same place. And we'll talk about the feminine heart.
And have some questions.
Yeah,
you can email us. You can connect with us any way you'd like. And we can start a dialogue that may answer any question you have.
So you can find us on Facebook, Andras Maros, or Mayana Rayta, and Peace Production, and Heartist Us. We've got lots of pages on there, pretty easy to find. And yeah, join us, connect with us, send your love, and we'll fly together. So we choose love.
Hope you do too.